Detroit Pistons, Cade Cunningham has added 10 pounds of muscle. He's 6 foot. I've seen him listed at 6'8". I've seen him listed at 6'6". I'm going with 6'8". He's 6'8", 228 pounds. And I guess Jaden Ivey has taken Kellyan Hayes' job. He told Kellyan Hayes, "You a bitch, and I'm taking your job." I'm just kidding.
As a backup?
Wow. No, but his job.
He's taking his job. Killian already lost his job.
Oh, there wasn't a job to begin with. That was good.
There wasn't.
I was saying in the sense that Kellyan Hayes was supposed to be Kellyan Hayes was drafted before Cade, but they were hoping that Kellyan Hayes could coexist and be like a running mate with, Cade. But they realized Kellyan Hayes, bitch, you can't even be on the floor.
He can't shoot.
He
picked it up at the end.
I know, but he's more of a pass first defense guy.
Yeah.
Like, I have faith in Kellyan, but guys, like, he's a bench player now. I'm sorry. But let's talk about Detroit Pistons and what's a question for this team. Will Cade Cunningham flirt with the next level? Obviously, looking for the guy in a rebuild is never easy, but the Pistons have found their face of the franchise for the next 15, 20 years in Cade Cunningham and decided to slow start due to an ankle injury. The 6'8" ball handler spent the second half of his season proving why he was the top selection and arguably the player in his draft class with the highest ceiling. Now it's up to Cade Cunningham to show that he can get to that next level in year 2. He doesn't have to be an all-NBA player, but being an all-star would be one of the first things to cross off his list. And if he does that, it just would help this young Pistons team exceed expectations like we hope and think they can and have an opportunity to be playing in postseason basketball. Basically, I think Detroit will go as far as Cade Cunningham's development goes.
This year in general?
This year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair for sure. I think, the Bogdanovich trade, I think, confirms me that they're in the play-in. There's no way Detroit's worse than, like, the 12th team in the NBA. So they'll be in it. I think they'll be in the play-in, but at worst, they'll be, like, just outside of it trying to get it in. Cade is a generational basketball talent. 17, 6-6 in his rookie season. Added 10 pounds of muscle or 10 pounds of weight. I think he'll probably go 27-7, maybe 27-8, 28-7, something like that. There's a lot of talent on this basketball team. I think right now what Troy Weaver's trying to figure out here is, all right, we have our vets on this team. We have a defensive beast in Nerlens Noel. If you saw that quote, he wants to get back to like a depoy kind of guy. You even have nice enticing players, Isaiah Livers, Bagley. But I think what a big thing for Detroit this year is, obviously the further development of Cade, see how Jaden plays. But I think this is a big year for guys like Saddiq Bey and Isaiah Stewart to see, all right, are you a long-term piece? Are you going to be a long-term piece for us? Are you going to be a starter for us? Are you more of a role player type of guy? Jalen Duren, can't forget about him as well. But Saddiq, I think this is a really big year for Saddiq because you're entering your third season here. You just took a leap. Averaged almost 17 points, or a little over 16 points a game. He had that 50 burger with extra sauce. So I think Saddiq, you know what I mean? Like, I know we have our franchise piece. If I'm Detroit, we have our franchise guy in Cade. So now we got to just fill out the holes.
I think the holes, though? So Saddiq Bey, in my mind, he's a third guy. Like, I love Saddiq Bey, but he's the third guy. We need Jaden Ivey to be the second guy. You got the other guys in, Beef Stew, Boyan, Marvin Bagley, Hamidou Diallo. And like they have all the other pieces. We need we need a second scorer, which like Saddiq Bey might be the second leading scorer, but I think prime Saddiq Bey is a third guy. Okay, like I know I use the Milwaukee Bucks as an example for a lot of things, but I think that's like the perfect team to show like a 3-player hierarchy in terms of how the touches go, where Giannis gets the most touches, then Chris Middleton. and then Drew Holiday. But Drew Holiday is the guy who brings the ball up the court. Now, in this situation, it's a little bit different where like Cade is like Giannis, where he does bring the ball up the court, but he is the point guard. So you got your Giannis, your number one shooter, ball toucher, ball dominant guy. Now you need a running mate, which we assume is the guy standing right next to him in this picture, in Jaden Ivey. And in that case, it would be Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are, young version of Giannis and Chris Middleton, if we want to put in comparison. Now we have to figure out, this is where I think Saddiq Bey could play that third role, where I really think Jaden Ivey, even though he'll be the second leading scorer, he's going to be in that Drew Holiday role where he touches the ball the second most, and the guy who touches the ball the third most is Saddiq Bey. But Saddiq Bey could be this season's second leading scorer, and Jaden Ivey be more of passing. But I just think those three guys, you have to make them your three guys in the cornerstones, and then you go with Boyan shooting, and then you rotate Jalen Duren, Marvin Bagley, Nerlens Noel, and Beef Stew at center. And then you got yourself Boyan, Hamidou Diallo, and loads of other guys off the bench. That I think this team, it just comes down to being able to, I think everything's there. It's just let's hit the 3-point shots and let's play defense. That's what's going to hold them from being a playing team.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I don't know what brought this up, but I was playing around with the fact of what if Detroit had a almost Memphis-esque season where they just shock everybody. And you're not shocking the fans, but you over-exceed. I don't think it'll happen, but I'm just saying, just for gigs. I'm just getting it out there so that I have this to run
Memphis from 2 years ago. I would go. Not this year.
Okay, so they could take a Memphis-esque path where you're about to make the play-in tournament, and then
what was it? Yeah. So, that's what I completely believe this. Goyo Falcon said best Pistons and Rockets have the brightest NBA futures.
Definitely,
yeah. And so I think we could see, 2 years ago when it was the first year of the play-in, Memphis made the play-in, right?
Yeah.
And they lost.
Mm-hmm.
So I think so I think this is what we could see from the Pistons this year. They make it in the play-in, lose in the play-in,